So this week, Kevin De Leon proposed a bill that would prohibit local law enforcement from cooperating with or giving assistance to federal law enforcement when it came to matters of illegal immigration. The very nature of this bill is corrupt. By its own admission, preventing law enforcement from enforcing laws should raise a red flag on even the most optimistic person's radar. Now, I'd like to point out that in speaking of his bill, Senator De Leon refers to his subjects, the subjects of the bill, as undocumented immigrants.
When the president-elect lays out a mass deportation strategy on national television, vastly oversetting the number of undocumented immigrants in the United States.
Now, this whole term of undocumented immigrant is absurd because it misleads the public away from realizing what they actually are, which is illegal aliens. I can't stand how the media hijacks the language to paint a false picture to fit their narrative in the name of political correctness. I object to using the term undocumented immigrant, as I will let my friend Dan Bongino explain why.
Do not co-opt the language. When they own the language, they own the argument. Yes. There is a reason they are doing this.
Now, the term assault weapon is also a term made up by the media in an attempt to show rifles to be too dangerous for ordinary citizens to have. Exactly when illegal aliens became undocumented immigrants, when sporting rifles became assault weapons, I don't know. But the late great George Carlin does a wonderful job at providing examples of this downward trend that has been going on for quite some time.
They say they're going to pre-board those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples! Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple that I can find in any dictionary. No shame attached to it. In fact, it's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. Doesn't take 7 words to describe that condition. But we don't have any cripples in this country anymore. We have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you? How about differently abled? I've heard them called that, differently abled. You can't even call these people handicapped anymore. They'll say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Well, hey, cousin, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. It's getting so bad that any day now I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient.
I believe the use of this language, this soft language, or this political correctness language, I believe that this contributes to the deterioration of society. The need for political correctness, the need for safe spaces, come on. I also believe it to be ironic that Senator De Leon, of all people, would want to protect the undocumented. It wasn't so long ago that Kevin De Leon complained about things not being documented, not having serial numbers, because they were not detectable.
Again, this is a weapon, is a ghost gun. No serial number, you cannot trace it, it's undetectable. You don't know who purchased it, you don't know who made it. No serial number, you cannot trace it, it's undetectable. You don't know who purchased it, you don't know who made it. And that is the difference between an automatic weapon that is a legally purchased weapon with a serial detectable number by Department of Justice, with a serial detectable number by Department of Justice in the event if it's utilized in a crime, and a high-powered assault weapon. This weapon is illegal. It's a ghost gun. It's been used in crimes and cannot be detected to the manufacturer or to the owner of this weapon.
If these evil ghost guns, which are actually undocumented firearms, are so dangerous to society, why do you think ghost people would be okay? I mean, let's face it. Ghost guns are harmless without the person using it. But a person can do a lot of harm without a ghost gun. And yet the senator wants to ban ghost guns while letting the ghost people walk free.